So we're doing May, June 2019, paper 3. Right, a company employs 10 unskilled and 8 skilled workers. A company which employs 10 unskilled and 8 skilled workers produce 2 models of toys, model A and model B. Model A requires 20 hours unskilled, and model B requires 15 hours unskilled. Model A requires 10 hours of skilled and model B requires 25 hours of skilled. So in total, model A requires 20 from the unskilled, 20 from the unskilled and 10 from the skilled. And then model B requires 15 from the unskilled and 25 from the skilled. Right? So now they want to know the maximum number of hours available per week from for unskilled labor. So if we only have 10 unskilled persons, that means the maximum we could have is 400 because it's going to be 10 by 40. Each person can only work 40 hours. So that's going to be 10 by 40, so 400 hours. And now for skilled labor, it's going to be, how much would it be? Someone answered just now.
What for the skilled workers?
Yeah.
320.
So 8 by the 40 that they're going to provide, which is 320 hours. And we see that when we add it up, it's 720 total as we originally said. So assume that the factory makes X model A and Y model B toys per week. Show that the inequalities for the hours of labor are such. 4x plus 3y is less than or equal to 18. So let's get on that.
After 320.
What's that?
After 320 hours.
After 320. All right. So thank you. Right. So for this second part here, they said assume that the factory make X model A and Y model B toys per week. Show that the inequalities for the hours of labor for the unskilled is 4x plus 3y is less than or equal to 80. So we go back up for the unskilled labor. We know that for unskilled, we're going to use 20 hours for 4x, which is model A. So that's how we got 20 by x. And then 15 hours for model B. So that's 15 by y, and it must be less than the total hours for unskilled labor, which is 400. So that's going to be 20x plus 15y less than or equal to 400. And in order for us to get this, we just divide by 5 throughout. Then they said show for the skilled labor, it's 2x plus 5y less than or equal to 64. So we do the same thing. 10 by x plus 25 by y, which is this. For the skilled, it cannot pass the 320, and we simplify by dividing by 5 to get what they asked us for as well. Now, part C, show by calculation that it is possible to make 50 model A toys and 5 model B toys. How do we show that it's possible? How do we show that's possible? So for model A requires 30, right? It requires 20 unskilled and 10 skilled. So I am going to say 15 by 30 hours each. Plus, for model B now, what do we require? 15 and 25. So that's going to be 5 by 15 plus 25, which is 40. Now, when we work that out, how much are we getting?
$450 for the 15 by 30.
Mm-hmm.
650.
and 200, right? So that's 650, which is less than or equal to what? What this must be less than or equal to?
Total hours work.
Correct, 720. It must be less than or equal to 720, which is the total hours we have for the workers to work. So it is possible to make 15 Model A toys and 5 Model B toys. Any questions there? Hardly, the factory makes a profit of $40 on a Model A toy and $60 on a Model B toy each week. Write an equation for the total profit per week for making X Model A and Y Model B. So remember, you do not know how many Model A and you do not know how many Model B toys. It's a variable, so it's X and Y. But you know you are going to make $40 profit on each Model A and $60 profit on each Model B. Make an equation, which is an equal sign, not an inequality, to represent that statement. How do we go about getting that? How do we make a statement for the total profit P? The profit P will be equal to what?
40x plus 60y.
Nice and simple, right? 40 by how many X and 60 by how many Y? That will represent the profit that you're going to make. Nice. What is the profit? What is the profit to the company when it makes 15 Model A toys and 5 Model B toys? So nice and simple again. If they're actually given the variables numbers now, because remember, X is the amount of Model A, Y is the amount of Model B. So if we're going to make 50 Model A and 5 Model B, then the profit is going to be 40 by 15, yeah? Plus 60 by 5, which is how much in total?
900.
So $900 for your profit. Nice. Now show that the profit calculated in D is not the maximum profit. Show that you could get more profit than $900. All right, what values can we try to get a higher profit? 40 by what? Any numbers for me?
20.
What's that?
20.
20 plus 60 by what?
10.
By 10?
Yeah.
By 10. Would this work?
Yes.
So remember, we have a constraint that we need to follow, right? Can I make 20? Can I make 20 Model A phones and 10 Model B phones?
We're doing toy.
Huh?
It's a toy.
Yeah, toys. Same thing. Can I make that? 1 second. Can I make that? That's the first question. Can I make 20 Model A and 10 Model B? So remember, in order to make a Model A, we need 30 hours, and in order to make a Model B, we need 40 hours. So if I say 20 by 15, sorry, if I say 15 by 30, So if I say 20 by 30, because you remember we need 30 and 40 hours for each one. So if I say 20 by 30 plus 10 by 40, how much is that? That's 600 plus 400. This is 1,000 hours. Do we have 1,000 hours to make all these? Huh? You're following what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Right. So remember, we have to go back to that. So even though we're going for higher profit, of course, if I increase the numbers, I'll get a higher profit. But it's if I could make 20 and 10 phones. It's phones, toys, right? I can't use these because I don't have 1,000 hours. So whatever numbers I pick, it must be under 720. What I will do is don't make a big jump. So if I had 15 and 5 and I had 650, all I could do is increase one, decrease one accordingly, or increase both of them by 1 accordingly to see if I would, what's the difference? How much hours we could add here? How much hours difference we have? Only 70 hours, right? Yeah? So that means we could add 1 more of each. We could try 16/6. Yeah? Y'all understand what I mean? So if I do 16 by 30 plus 6 by 40, how much is that? 240 plus 30 for 480, and that will be 720, right? So if I make 16 and 6, 16 model A, 6 model B, I will get the full 720 hours. So therefore, I could use that as my profit change. 40 by 16 plus 6 by 60 by 6, which will give me how much?
$1,000.
And this, we could work with this because we know our 16 and 6 works within the hours. Everybody with me? Do we have any questions there? The diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows a flexible piece of card in the shape of a sector of a circle with center O and radius 18. Show that the perimeter of the card is 18. So for us to show the perimeter, we know the perimeter is all around, right? Here and here. So we know that if this is 18, this is 18. So all we need to do is find the length of the arc at this point. We know the length of the arc is theta over 360 by what? How do we work out the length of the arc? What does it multiply by? What's the formula? We're going to multiply this by theta over 360 by what? Pi r squared is area. We're dealing with perimeter.
2 pi r.
Thank you. 2 pi r. So once we deal with any part of the circumference, we multiply by 2 pi r perimeter. Pay attention to the question. They said use pi as 22 over 7. So 140 over 360 by 2 by 22 over 7 by the radius, which is 18. And what will be the answer for this? It should be 80 centimeters, right? Y'all got that? Show that something is 80. If they say show that it is 80, your answer should end up as 80. Nothing else. Did we get 80? So So it's my mistake. This is not 80. What's the answer for this part? What's the answer for this part when we work it out, people? Okay. So when we work out the area of the length of the arc, we're getting 44. And remember, this is just the 44. So we have to add this part and this part. So we're gonna add 18 and add 18. How much is that? 8 and 8 is 16. 16 and 4 is 20. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's how we get the 80. We have to put back in the other two lengths because remember, perimeter is all the way around. Y'all understand that?
Yeah.
Now we're going to calculate the area of the card. Now we're dealing with sector, right? So it's going to be theta over 360 by pi r squared now. Area deals with pi r squared, perimeter deals with 2 pi r. Work it out and tell me the answer, please. So that's 140. Huh?
I got 396 centimeters squared.
So 18 squared, and everybody got 396 centimeters squared. Yeah, and if you also confirm each other's answers, okay, remember I do have my calculator. All right, nice. Thank you. So the card is now bent and the edges OP and OR are taped together. So if I bend this and I put OP and OR together, what shape will I get?
A triangle.
A triangle from a circle.
Not half. If you bend it in half.
What is that? OP and OR?
OP and OR are taped together. So the cards form a curve. The card is bent and the edges OP and OR are taped together.
A cone.
A cone. Nice, right? So if you picture bending it and it's curved and you tape OP and OR together, you're kind of going to get like an ice cream cone kind of finish, right? With a flat circular top. So the card is bent, OP and OR are taped together so that the card forms a curved surface of a cone. All right, look at right here, right? With a circular base, PQR. So you're kind of going to end up with something like this when you tape it together. Draw, okay. Wow, look, I answered, right? Draw a diagram of the cone formed showing clearly the measurements of the 18. Where would the 18 be?
The height.
Would it be the height? Height is something straighter. So I'm drawing this bigger. So they want you to show the 18, the perpendicular height, and the radius. Where would the 18 be? The 18 would be this slant, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Because remember they said OR and OP are going to be connected together. These are the only two going to be connected to each other, which is that part of the cone. Now they said show the perpendicular height H. Where would I put my perpendicular height H? From the center, right? Going all the way down, the same way they would show you in a diagram the height of something. So this is H, and where would my radius be? From here, going anywhere out to the circumference. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Any questions here? So the perpendicular height must be straight. 18 will be the slanted height. and the radius, we know our radius is from the center to the circumference. Now they ask you to calculate the radius of the circular base of the cone. Calculate the radius. So now you're going to try to work out the radius using all the information they would have given you above.
We know the scope,
So we know something about a circle. What do we know, Anakil?
the circumference.
We know the
The
circumference of the circle. Yeah, we do. Because remember this entire thing here closed in, and we know it was 44. So we know the circumference of the circle. Very good. So we can use that to work out the radius. So 2 pi r is equal to how much? 44, right? You're with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Therefore, r is equal to 44 divided by 2 pi, which is same thing they said, 44 divided by 2 by 22 over 7. And what will be the answer for that? Work out your base first, work out your denominator, get your answer, and then do your division. Don't skip any steps.
7.
Everyone got 7 as the radius.
Yeah, but with some decimals to the end. Yeah, with some 3s after it.
I don't know what you mean by some 3s after.
Like 7.333 something.
All right, take around it to the nearest whole number. Or you're using okay. Round it to the nearest whole number.
I got 7. Not 1.
You got 7 flat?
Yeah.
I don't know what Crystal doing then. So we'll go to 22 by 22 over 7, get your answer. And then you say 44 divided by that answer, and you'll get 7. So just to recap, this was a thinking part. This is not, so it should actually be this. You knew that from above, the circumference, the length of the arc was 44. They closed it in to make a full circle. Therefore, the length did not change. It is still 44. So we know that the circumference of the new circle is 244, which is 2 pi r is equal to 44. And we solve backwards for r. Now, this last part, using Pythagoras Theorem, or otherwise determine the perpendicular height of the resulting cone. So go ahead and do that for me. They want you to solve for h to find the height. I want you all to take your time and do that. And they actually told you using Pythagoras Theorem. How do we use Pythagoras Theorem to find h in a situation like this? How do we go about finding h? What is r? 7, right? So if we have a 7 and we have a, what is the length of this? 18, right? How do we find this? Using Pythagoras Theorem. What shape are we seeing there? Right angle triangle. The radius could come like this as well, right? Connecting to the 18. Remember, the radius could go from center to any part. So when we use Pythagoras Theorem to solve for h, what's the height? First of all, what's the formula we're going to use? So we form a right angle from this shape here. By using Pythagoras Theorem, the hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the other two squared. So the hypotenuse is 18 squared is equal to the other side is 7, and we're finding for h. So we end up with 18 squared minus 7 squared is equal to 8 squared. And what's the answer for 18 squared minus 7 squared?
$275.
75.
And what's the answer for h? 275 or 75? 275, you all said?
Yeah.
What's the answer for h now?
Sixteen point six.
16.5.
16.5 something or 16.6? Did they sit around it to anything? So you can round it accordingly, whether it's 1 or 2 decimal places. It's going to be centimeter. We found the root of it. Yeah, and that's it. That's it there for this paper, you know. That's it there for this paper.